James Gunn to use online trolls as Superman's new kryptonite? Well, that's the rumor, as reported by Matt McCloy of Cosmic Book News. He's really upset about something. It could be nasty trolls online. James Gunn's revenge on the internet? Oh, that's right. Remember what happened to him? A bizarre and rumored plot for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims the Man of Steel gets dragged into the world of cancel culture. In the link, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. See, he looks upset there. Yeah. But he also looks kind of banged up and stuff, so I thought it might be that. But anyway, yeah, the crowd's all mad at him, so I guess, because, I don't know, they saw stuff on social media and got mad at him. You would think it was something that happened that, they think it's his fault or whatever. No, we're not joking. It's further claimed that James Gunn uses #supershit hashtag in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. So are they saying the stains and stuff on the suit is, shit? I don't know. But the real twist? Lex Luthor is behind it all. Good Lord, I never would have guessed. Using an army of mutant monkeys at keyboards to flood and troll the internet and tear Superman down. Well, you don't really need mutant monkeys. You could just do a bunch of bots with sock puppet accounts, and Luthor doesn't understand that? I thought he was a genius. Well, the rumor comes via My Time to Shine Hello account on X. Worth a mention is that Gunn has shot down some of the account's previous claims. In the movie, Superman is frustrated by social media backlash, with the hashtag supershit being mentioned several times as really getting under his skin, which is impervious to bullets, but not to super shit. Meanwhile, in Lex's interdimensional world, hundreds of mutant monkeys are shown typing furiously at keyboards, flooding social media with hate against Superman. Monkeys. Is the rumor true? Well, rumors can be true. Rumors can be absolutely false. Sometimes, more times than not. They're somewhere in between. As of Monday morning, James Gunn hasn't shot down the rumor on Threads. He's been much less active on social media regarding responding to fans. But Gunn did shoot down the recent speculation that Garrett Dillahunt is playing the DCU's Green Arrow. McCloy's opinion, I can see the rumor being true, as if it is true. It's Gunn's response to how he was canceled at Disney and Marvel Studios over his tweets from years ago, which, interestingly enough, seem to be resurfacing online from the Snyder Cult trolls. If you watched Gunn's Creature Commandos, he did something similar by having Cersei's army made up of incels. Yeah, it was enough to almost kick you out of the cartoon, when it was a fairly entertaining show. But then you had to do that crap. It always kicks you out of the show. There's even a character officially named Incel Son. The male characters are simps. The cops are the bad guys. Things of that nature, etc. So Gunn, including an army of troll monkeys, is an obvious metaphor for what happened with him back in 2018 when Disney fired him over the conservatives discovering his tweets from 10 or so years ago. Yeah, so what Gunn is doing, just like he did with Creature Commandos, is using Superman to get back at everyone. So he thinks incels are the ones that did him, who, you know, dug up all his weirdo jokes about, you know, and all that. I don't know, but they're not the ones that fired him. It was Disney, you know. Plus, James Gunn had no problems about other people who got canceled. No. Then it happened to him, and then, hey, wait a minute, someone's got to do something about this. But yeah, to still and put that into the movie, it's going to be so blatantly obvious. And it's like, oh, well, let's pause for a minute and deal with this little PCA that James Gunn wants to put in the middle of his movie, and then maybe we can get back to the story. See, that's what that does. And that's the best outcome. The other outcome is word of mouth gets out, and says, yeah, it's just this preachy pile of crap, and then nobody shows up. You know. Well, anyway, Kevin Feige ended up rehiring Gunn. Yeah, most people get canceled, they stayed canceled. I mean, that's kind of changing now, but that's got nothing to do with you, Gunn. And Gunn finished Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that's when Warner Brothers scooped up Gunn, who did Peacemaker and The Suicide Squad. Following Got G3, Gunn returned to WB, and the rest, they say, is history. He's now in charge of DC, along with producer Peter Safran. Honestly, I hope the rumor isn't true. It sounds horrible. It is horrible, but the point McClone makes here, that he did do that in Creature Commandos, odds are there's something that maybe it's minor, you know, the idea that Superman is crushed, that people are saying hashtag super shit, you know. It's also interesting to note, this is like, oh, the Snyder cult and all that stuff, but this whole scene, I mean, the questioning of Superman and whether or not he's really good or a force for good in the world, and should there be a Superman and all, that was quintessential to the plot of Batman versus Superman. And guess who was stirring all that up? Lex Luthor. That's right. And even Superman was framed, you know, for murder in Lex Luthor, in Batman versus Superman. So it seems to be the same plot, you know. Well, we'll see. So, Superman gets released in July 11th, 2025. Well, again, I'm leaning towards, yeah, this is probably somewhat true. It's just the question is how much of it is there. And is it enough to really think, oh, shit, I got to sit through this now, you know? Oh, well, I'm hoping Superman does very well, and, you know, honestly so, in that it's well-deserved, not just, gee, I really want it to be good. But I don't think there's any audience left to do that. So it has to actually be good, and I hope it is. And Warner Brothers definitely hope so, because everything is riding on Superman.